Unfortunately, we didn't see the awesome grand final rematch that we were hoping for. A couple of injuries before this game started with Reynolds and Haas, to then see Walsh go down extremely early. And we'll get into the controversial side of that, and it's kind of divided opinions in the NRL community. We did get to see a Penrith masterclass. So we will start with the Penrith side of things. And guys, you really just do need to enjoy this. Yes, they were up against a depleted side, but what they can do, finding where the weaknesses are on a week-to-week basis, on a minute-to-minute basis. You saw here in that first half, as soon as Walsh went down, they moved Piakura out into the centres, and they were able to get out there. Obviously, enjoy that with Isaac Tungo again, very much the same as last week. And as soon as things changed in the second half, they end up putting Tony Staggs out in that centre position, and then moved Piakura over to the right-hand side to play back row, and move Jordan Ricky into the centres. So as soon as that happened, then they're able to move their attack to the left-hand side, and you saw Brian To'o score a couple of tries there as well. So by far the best team to notice these things, to change things on the run. They're not set in their structures. They have the way they want to play. They want to get through the middle, back on the inside, all these types of things, and then get the ball out to their centres when the time is right and when they have a nice matchup. And you'll see this week to week. They'll change to the left-hand side one week. They'll play through the middle more one week, and they'll score tries through there. Then the next week, they'll go to the right-hand side with Isaac Tungle there, or they'll hit their back rowers a little bit more. Some games are a little bit different to others, and we do need to understand that Penrith are the best for a reason. They will be there at the back end of the season. Nathan Cleary, just the types of tries that he can put on. Very, very simple on some of them. Just get the ball out to your winger. Get the ball to your centre, right? You saw that with Tungo. You saw that with the Taruva try. But then the magician-like moves that he can play as well. Some people are still saying that Zezra found where Cleary is, because just show and go. Show them the ball. Put it out in front. Bypass a couple of defenders, and then gets out there to get Isaac Tungo through that gap untouched is very, very impressive work. And it's the things that we need to enjoy, as I said, while we're here. For those that didn't like Cameron Smith, you watch him. He's an absolute marvel each and every week. We're seeing those types of moves in a clubland. Obviously, we haven't seen it enough at this stage of his young career in the Origin arena. But in clubland, what he's doing, what Isaiah Yeo's doing, what Isaac Tungo's doing at the moment needs to be enjoyed. That's for sure. We move to the controversial side of things, and that was the Taylor May hit head clash on Reece Walsh. And guys, I do understand, for those that have watched this game, have played this game for a long time, that a head clash like that would usually be play on, accidental, unlucky. But unfortunately, the game has changed. So I do see both sides of it, and the way that the game is officiated now, obviously the way he said there, the ref said was about the duty of care, right? And you know that likely he's going to pass it. There's a few things that you can slightly change. When someone passes the ball, we understand that there's, you're going to try and hit him, right? But smack him in the ribs, hit him in the chest, something like that. You could see that he was just like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that, he was going to be there. That was kind of the face that the tail end had. And then he obviously just tried to brace himself. One hand was out, the other one was kind of in, and it's a big head clash from there. So I do understand where the judiciary is going to come from, given he was on report. A lot of people would have said that he should have got sin binned. And look, I was worried about it, being an owner of him in fantasy and Supercoach. But really, when you look at that, sometimes they do give it a sin bin, and sometimes they don't. And all we're looking for is some consistency, obviously, there. And as I said, the way it was officiated, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was, that would not have been a sin bin, or even thought of that. It wouldn't have been put on report. It may have been a penalty at worst, but most likely not even a penalty. But now the game has changed, and what they want to do, and I do completely understand it, is to try and protect the stars of our game as much as possible. In this scenario, Reece Walsh, almost the face of the NRL at the moment, outside of a couple of plays in Cleary's and Turbos, Latrell even, some of our superstars of the game, and something like this, you would assume, rubs Taylor May out of the game for a couple of weeks. There has been some precedents before with Dale Finucane getting a dangerous grade 3 dangerous contact charge, reckless contact, and he ended up fighting it and getting it off. So there is that in there. I do expect him to get charged for a couple of weeks, probably leading into their bye. And I suppose the reason for this, guys, is that the NRL wants their stars in the park as much as possible. And if they're not going to be, due to injuries to things like this that can be avoided, sometimes they can't. Obviously, head clashes, in tackles, all these things happen all the time. But a lot of the time it's not through the carelessness of it. Like, you're coming out to hit him. He did kind of, like, in the fast motion, it kind of looked like he jumped up into it as well, like he's coming up to hit him. Whereas that one, you can just drill him, right? Just drill him through the hips, through the ribs. If you're going for a cracked rib or something like that, if you're trying to hit him hard there and wind him or whatever else, then that could be the play. And I just do see it. That's the reason that they'll come down on him, unfortunately, is because of the contact up high. Like, he was going to hit him up high anyway. He didn't have the ball. He's injured now. It's the star of our game. That's what the worry is. I see both sides of the argument. And it's probably all that we do need to say on that one there. Obviously, it's hard to sort of judge too much on the Broncos from this game, given they had so many of their stars out and they had to make changes on the run. Against any other side, they might have had a chance to get back into this game, but the Penrith Panthers absolutely drilled them down to the core and gave them zero chance of even competing in this game. You did see a try late and a very low-scoring second half, and obviously all the damage was done in that first half. So, big congratulations to the Panthers. Hopefully, for the Broncos, that the Reynolds is back very soon, and that Walsh has avoided, a bone injury, an eye socket injury, and it's just some bleeding through there, and he can get back and playing to his best very, very soon. That's my thoughts on that game, guys. And tomorrow I will jump in and analyze the 2 Friday games after they've been played and pick out some of the headlines for that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.